crisis, trauma, or disease diagnosis, wait for loss, some tragedy to make up your mind to change. And the message is why wait. And you can learn and change in a state of pain and suffering, or you can learn and change in a state of joy and inspiration. I think right now, the cool thing is that people are waking up. Most people spend 70% of their life living in survival and living in stress. They're always anticipating the worst case scenario based on a past experience. And they're literally, out of the infinite potentials in the quantum field, selecting the worst possible outcome and then getting to emotional place of fear and then conditioning their body to the state of fear. You do that enough times, the body has a panic attack about you. You can predict it because it's programmed subconsciously. So people become addicted to the rush of those emotions, and they use the problems and conditions in their life to reaffirm their limitation, so at least they can feel something. So now when it comes time to change, you say to the person, why are you this way? Well, every time they recall the event, they're producing the same chemistry in their brain and body as if the event is occurring, firing and wiring the same circuits, and sending the same emotional signals to your body. What's the relevance behind that? Well, your body is your unconscious mind. In a sense, if you're sitting down and you start thinking about some future worst case scenario that you're conjuring up in your mind, and you begin to feel the emotion of that event, your body doesn't know the difference between the event that's taking place in your world, our world, and what you're feeling, what emotions from alone. So most people then, they're constantly reaffirming their emotional states. So when it comes time to give up that emotion, they can say, I really want to do it, but really the body is stronger than the mind because it's been conditioned that way. So the servant now has become the master, and the person all of a sudden, once they step into that unknown, they'd rather feel guilt and suffering because at least they can predict it. Being in the unknown is a scary place for most people because the unknown is uncertain. People say, well, I can't predict my future. I mean, and they always say the best way to predict the future is to create nothing. Something like that. What thoughts do you want to fire and wire in your brain? What behaviors do you want to demonstrate in one day? The act of rehearsing the mental, closing your eyes, rehearsing the action.
Reversing the reaction of what you want.
Yeah, the action of what you want. By closing your eyes and mentally rehearsing some action, if you're truly present, the brain does not you'll become conscious of these processes. So you begin to become more aware of how you think, how you act, how you feel, metacognition. So then, why is that important? Because the more conscious you become of those unconscious states of mind and body, the less likely you're going to go unconscious during the day, and that thought is not going to slip by your awareness unchecked, because it means to know thyself. The word meditation means to become familiar with it. So as you become familiar with the thoughts, the behaviors, the emotions of the old self, your retiring mental self, as you fire and wire new thoughts, you condition the body into an emotional state. If you do that enough times, you'll begin to become familiar too. So it's so important. Just like a garden, if you're planting a garden, you gotta get rid of weeds. You gotta take the plants from the past year, you gotta pull them out. The rocks that sift to the top, that are like our emotional blocks, that have to be removed. The soil has to be tenderized and broken down. You have to make room to plant in the garden. So primarily, we learn the most about ourselves and others when we're